What's going on, family? What's going on? Hope all is well with everybody. Hope everybody's feeling well today. Shout out, as y'all see, rocking my Memphis hat. Second home for those of y'all who may or may not know. Spent a year in Memphis. Man, it was a wonderful time. Met some very wonderful people. Yeah, shout out to Memphis, man. Shout out to Memphis. Again, hope everybody is doing well today. Just wanted to hop on and share a little something with you that got on my heart. As always, I will tell you every time, eat the meat, throw away the bone. Anything that I do say that you can use it. Take it. Make it yours. Make it your own. Use it to be better. Whatever. Anything that I do say that you may not agree with or you don't like, throw it away, disregard it. Again, we don't have to respond to everything that we don't like. I know we're in the social media age, and that's we do, but again, this is a place of positivity. This is a place where I'm trying to create a positive energy. Now, feedback and criticism, I'm pleased, I welcome it. Just make sure it's constructive and in a way to get better. That's all I ask. But without further ado, what I want to talk to y'all about today is protecting your energy versus giving up. All right, are they the same? All right, is one better than the other? When you give up on somebody, is there a time when it is okay to give up? Not necessarily give up on the person. You still want them to get better and succeed at whatever it is that they may be doing, or whatever it is that's turning you off. You still want them to get better at that. But yeah, I just want to dive in a little detail, or a little deep into again, this is my thoughts, but I just want to dive into what my thoughts are about this. I'm seeing a lot of that on my timeline of protecting your energy, and people actually feeling bad, well, maybe not necessarily bad, but just don't know how to feel about putting themselves first, or just making themselves a priority over continuing to pour into others or to situations that aren't going anywhere. All right, so I will remind you that there's only two ways that somebody can change. All right, it's either through trauma, which creates a situation in them that they must fight or flight. All right, we can dive deeper into that, but I'm just going to leave that there. Trauma normally creates change, a lasting change. And the only other way is if the person decides to change. All right, this is strictly talking about people right now, not necessarily situations or jobs or things like that way, or but unless the person makes up in their mind that they want to change, normally they won't. Even if they say it but haven't committed to it in their heart, those words normally will, I'm not going to say they're not going to be true, but the words without the commitment to self, without the accountability to self to stick to those words, are just words, and so many words, no pun intended. Hope that makes sense for everybody. All right, so that's the first thing. All right, and when protecting your energy, you have to realize if the situation can be changed. Normally when you're getting into protecting your energy or making decisions on what you are or are not going to allow in your life due to you putting yourself first, or how we're calling it protecting your energy, normally some change is involved, or a change is warranted. Not in all situations, but normally. So again, if that person hasn't went through trauma that's making them change, and I stop right there. What's trauma? Like losing the love of your life, or the chance of losing the love of your life. Yeah, that's trauma. That's traumatic to somebody if they actually love you. So the thought of that, the risk of that, yeah, that's gonna make somebody, do something one way or another. It's gonna make them change. All right. That was just an example of trauma. It was a light one. I mean, of course, I don't have to go into detail about, trauma, but that's just a light example of trauma. Again, the other one is them making up their mind. Unless they make up their mind, and that goes on, to last couple of videos I did ago, unless they make up their mind or see the error in their ways, then 9 times out of 10, they're not going to change. Like, it's hard to, we've all been in conversations with people who are dead set on what they believe, and nothing you say, no matter how true, no matter how accurate, will make them adjust their beliefs. And that kind of goes the same as change. So once you see that and you realize, okay, this person hasn't made up their mind, or nothing has happened to warrant them to want to change, I would say that's a good indication that it may be time to start considering whether it's best for you to protect your energy and, fade or step back, or however you want to call it, or keep pouring in. But that leads right to, my next thing is, what is this costing you? All right, that's the next thing we have to consider. And what I mean by that is, if you find yourself constantly drained, constantly, just constantly doing better, you're feeling good, everything, having a great day, but it's this one person that you talk to, and no matter what, every time you talk to them, whether it's a minute conversation, 15-minute conversation, whatever, you feel drained afterwards. They all, just call them energy vampires, people that suck the energy out of you, to now you can't even focus on your day, or your day becomes a little bit harder because now your positive energy has transferred and changed into negative energy, because we can't help it. It's human nature. You talk to somebody, you're dealing with somebody, you may, take on that energy sometimes, unless, you're mindful of it and you know how to guard and protect against that, through meditation and through things of that nature. But without getting, too far off the topic, that's what, you have to do. You have to analyze and see, what is this costing me? If it's costing you more, or if it's costing you your happiness, if it's costing you your peace, then that may be time, to start thinking about it. I'm not saying, give up on the person because of this. There's steps to take, before we reach that point. Communicate that to the individual. Let them know what impact they're having on you. And, that may make a change. But then that goes back to number one, but stay here. Communicate. Let them know, what it's doing to you, whatever it is, whether it's friend, wife, co-worker at work, whatever. Let them know how they are impacting you. If the behavior continues, then I think it's okay at that time to protect your energy. I don't look at that as giving up, because you made every effort you can, but at some point it's just, you have to care for yourself. You have to make yourself a priority in the situation, because if not, they'll just keep taking from you. I think it was Shannon Sharpe said, takers take, whether it's on accident or whatever. Takers take. That's just, what they do. They vampires suck the energy out of you. It's a real thing. It happens. That doesn't mean the person is bad. That doesn't mean, anything. It's just we're all on a different journey in life, and maybe where their journey is right now, they can't see the forest through the trees. They can't, I think that's how it goes, or something of that nature, but they can't get out of their own way, and it's up to you at that point to decide what you will and will not allow in your life. And whatever decision you make, if it's the latter, you won't allow it, then that's okay. Yes, the person, may get mad, and you may even feel bad because you care about them. You care about them. Sorry, my Richmond comes out from time to time. But you care about them. And yeah, it can be painful. It can be hard to deal with. It can be, difficult to deal with making tough decisions, because, I'm by no means am I saying this is easy. This is light work. No, this is hard, because these are life-changing decisions. It may be friends that you've been cool with your whole life that you got to cut off for whatever reason, because it's the best thing for you. You can't feel bad about doing what's best for you. Yes, you can be compassionate. You can have empathy towards the situation and the person, but don't beat yourself up for putting you first. Even if that person is saying things or, putting things out there, you did this, that, and the third, don't feed into it, because you did what you were supposed to do, right? You gave all the chances, you communicated, you let them know, you try to talk to them about it, all of that, and they still won't change. That's on that individual. That's not on you. Even the Bible says all won't go. So just, it is what it is. Again, we're all on a different journey of life, and we reach certain levels at different times. So, it may be some still learning that the individual may need to do, or for whatever reason, So again, what is it costing you? What impact is this having on your well-being? And is it time to protect your energy? And if you make that decision, that's not giving up. That's putting you first. All right? There's a difference. There's a clear-cut difference. All right? And then the last thing that we have to do for ourselves is we have to learn to remove the connection, remove the emotion from the situation, and just look at things for what they are, right? You love somebody, but he's not treating you the way you want to be treated. Well, take that love out of it and look at what's happening. If you do have a child or something, would you want your child going through that? If you're a woman, would you want your daughter going through that? Would you want your mom going through that? If you're a man, would you want your son going through that? Would you want somebody doing that to your son? It is what it is. It's hard. It's a process, and if y'all want, we can definitely go through the thought process to get to that point. But again, we have to start living in reality, because we live in reality. We all would love to live in our head, and everything that is in our head is what we experience every day. The perfect world, everybody's gonna be perfect, and everybody's gonna give you the energy that you give, and this, that, and the third. But that's not the world we live in. That's not the world we live in. Again, look at things for what they are. Remove the emotion, remove the connection, and use your discernment. Again, we all know, when it's time to, cut, or when we should keep fighting. You use your discernment. You have that for a reason. God gave us that for a reason. And I believe if we paid attention a little bit more to it, we might save ourselves some hurt, or I guess the amount of hurt, because hurt is inevitable in life. It's an emotion, we're going to experience. It's a human experience. But again, if we learn to remove our emotions, remove the connection from the person, from the situation, I think we can minimize the hurt as best as possible. It's levels to hurt. And then lastly, communicate. Like I was saying earlier, whoever the person is, communicate to them what they are doing to you, how they're making you feel. And I believe in that conversation is where it's important to remove the connection and the emotion and pay attention to what's said and what actions are taken after. If I let you know, you're doing something to hurt me, relationship, all right, I'll speak on this one, friendship, marriage, whatever. If you agree to get in a relationship with somebody, be their friend, then you unconsciously agree that, hey, I'm going to be considerate to you. Whether you know it or not, that's part of the unwritten agreement. I'm not going to do certain things to you because you're my friend. I'm not going to do certain things because you're my wife. I'm not going to do certain things because you're my whatever. Okay? Part of that agreement, every time. Sorry about that, people. Part of that agreement is that we agree to be considerate of that person. All right? That is a part of it. Now, if me as a friend, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, come to you and let you know, hey, this is how you making me, feel when it does that. Even if I'm not totally 100% agreeing with that, I still have to consider it, right? I still have to find a way to make this no longer an issue, especially if you're married, especially in romantic relationships, because that's a part of it. And that's where we fall short a lot of the times is, you feel this way, your partner feels this way, and nobody's willing to compromise. Well, that's not a relationship. That's not a relationship, all right? Yes, in a relationship, nobody's going to get everything that they want. I'll say it again. In a relationship, nobody is going to get everything that they want. Some people may. Never say never, never say always. Most of the time, you're not going to get everything that you want. But there's normally enough of what you want to, keep you there, right? So in that relationship, you get your feelings and you get you have to come back to the table and find a way to compromise if you want the relationship to be successful. And this goes back to what I was saying, pay attention to the comments and the actions. If you let them know that in any way, and it's not even considered to be a thing, we got some thinking to do. If you let somebody know you're hurting them and they can't acknowledge that, or they're trying to go tit for tat or whatever, got some thinking to do. All right? I'm not going to say which way to go. That's on you. because I don't know all the context to whatever situation that you may be going through. You know, it's context to it. You know, is this the first argument? Is this the umpteenth argument? You know, it's context. That's where, again, discernment comes in, you know. But communicate about it and let the energy flow. Make your adjustments. Again, if they care, they're going to make an adjustment. They may slip up, they may not be perfect, but an effort, something will be done to show you the nah. I feel you, I'm with you, I care enough about you to consider that. All right. So, to summarize, all right, protecting your energy is not the same as giving up. It's not. All right. Sometimes people just aren't ready. Maybe you're a little bit ahead of where they are at that time, and they just can't see or understand you. Protecting your energy is not giving up. All right. Now, if you're not trying, you didn't put any effort in, and you just walk away, cut ties, yeah, that's giving up, right? That's giving up. Or just because the road get a little bit of tough, you decide to walk away and that's giving up. Again, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because again, context. I don't know, what's going on. It shouldn't take but one time for you to get hit before you realize, oh no, this ain't for me, right? But that's context. Might be, something else going on. Oh, person may not be good with the money and made a few mistakes with money. Okay, well, how big was the mistake? And is that, the straw that breaks the camel back, right? But again, protecting your peace is not the same as giving up, all right? Nobody can change until they make up their mind or experience trauma to push or propel that effort, right? We have to analyze, what is this situation costing me? Is it costing me my peace? Is it costing me my sanity, in a sense? Okay, and is it worth it? All right. Next, we got to remove the emotion, remove the connection, and look at the action for what it is. Look at the action for what it is. Lastly, once we communicate, right? Once we communicate, go back to use that discernment. Communicate the action. And let the energy flow. And how do we do that? Like I say, remove the emotion, remove the connection. Pay attention to the words, to the action. Does the action match the words? All right? So, that's all I got. Again, don't feel bad for protecting your energy. It's a must. It's a must. Because the more and more you pour in, and you're not getting, what you need to keep pouring, your river's going to run dry. Your pitcher is going to run dry. And that's when normally, we get irritable and start arguments over little things, or things that may have been small become the size of a mountain, because we're not protecting our energy. We're not making sure that we are good. At the same time, we're making sure the other or others are good. All right. Hope that makes sense. Again, all feedback is welcome. Feel free, leave a comment. Anything. Just, let me know. Look, analyze what I said, give me a different outlook, because again, I didn't say that this is all. This isn't the only way. You will never hear me say this or what I say is the only way. Again, I will say it till my face turn blue. There are no gurus. All right? There are no gurus. We're all trying to figure. I don't care. If you're 87, still got something to learn. Still got something you can figure out. Nobody has life figured out. All right? Don't feel bad for being on your journey or where you are on your journey, because we all are on a journey, one way or another. Peace and love, family. Be great. Believe in you Set the mind, your life will follow. Love.